Hi, I watched UTSUKUSHII KARE, and here's my review. It tells the story of Hira, a young guy who's kind of an outcast and who's been bullied throughout his life because he stutters a bit. One day, there's another young guy who enters his classroom and is actually the kind of very popular and who attracts a lot of people because he has good looks and he acts kind of cool. When Hira sees him for the first time, he is a bit blown away by his beauty. He swears he's never seen anyone as pretty before. Kyohei is the kind of person who brings life, and I would say also joy, to Hira's life. Okay, so this drama is the adaptation of a manga that I haven't read of the same name. I really enjoyed it. I really spent a good moment watching it. It was, I wouldn't say weird, but sometimes the atmosphere of the drama was kind of weird. At the end of the day, I think if you've watched it, maybe you're going to relate to me. But I think it really depends from personal experience. But to me, at the end of the drama, I really could relate more to Hira. Even though at some point we do get the point of view of Kyohei and get to understand more of his own feeling of why things go the way they do in the drama. At the end of the day, I just couldn't help but root a bit more for Hira because I can understand him more. But I'm going to detail it a bit more in a spoil part that I'm going to do right now. I actually don't really have anything non-spoilery to say about this drama, except that I really liked a lot of things in this drama, but at the same time I feel like I didn't enjoy it as much as some of the dramas I've watched. But yeah, watch it if you haven't. I would still recommend it to you because it was pretty good. Honestly, Japan got game in the BL world. I mean, they're one of the few countries who's doing it right now. So really watch them to support them. So what I was saying about relating more to Hira. First, I think the huge problem between the two of them was misunderstanding from both sides, not just from Hira's side. Because it can be seen a bit like that later on when we get to see the point of view of Kyohei. I loved what we saw, actually what he was feeling and how, and see his take on everything happening. That was really great, I really loved it. But at the same time, it kind of reproaches Hira to not understand him. But I think it doesn't really understand his point of view. I mean, Hira is an outcast, he doesn't really have any friend. He's been bullied for a while, so he likes to be alone. I mean, if you're an outcast and you've been bullied because of something that's really you, how can you have confidence? How can you have a good self-esteem? So I wouldn't blame him to think that Kyohei was really too good for him. I can understand that he would kind of view him as some kind of god or an idol because he has so little self-esteem of himself that sometimes just a normal person can seem like he's above a person. So Kyohei was reproaching that to Hira, that I'm not a god, I'm not an idol, I'm just a normal person. So yes, I understand this reproach, but at the same time, I side more on Hira's side. I can relate a lot more to him, thinking that you're nothing and this person is everything, and there's no way this person would ever look at you. So I understand it. Also, I want to point out that sure, it was because of Kyohei's struggle and we saw it in his point of view. But from Hira's side, not knowing his point of view, Kyohei really sent a lot of mixed signals, like for a moment being really sweet and then the next moment kind of not being mean to him, but kind of not very far from it. So you can't understand mixed feelings, and especially even less when you have low self-esteem and low confidence in yourself. So yeah, I was really feeling a bit more for Hira, and I just find it a bit sad that Kyohei doesn't really get to understand this side at the end, because Hira reflects and understands what is done wrong, and he gets Kyoi's side, but I think Kyoi doesn't really get the side of Hira. Or maybe I'm completely wrong and Hira doesn't have a problem of confidence and self-esteem, and then all I've said right now is for nothing. But I don't know how you can be an outcast, have no friend, and have been bullied for stuttering and being scared of it too, because they show that Hira really doesn't like talking in front of people because of that. But yeah, I wanted to throw this out because this kind of rubbed me the wrong way, that Hira would be kind of blamed for everything, when it's not really his fault either. Another thing I want to throw out there is how I was so ready to feel very bad for the second lead, the second guy that we get introduced when Hira goes to university. First, he's so cute physically and mentally. He seems like a really cute and supportive guy, you know, so yeah, I was like, oh wow, and you're treating Hira so nice. So yeah, I was really ready to be sad for him. But the fact that we got Kyoi's point of view right after we get introduced to him really help you kind of go back to Kyoi's side, because I'm not gonna lie, at that time I was like, you know, this guy is so much nicer to you. Forget this Kyoi guy who doesn't know what he wants. I know he has his own struggles and everything at that point, but bad experiences before make me think this way. So I was like, just leave him and go with him. I was ready to think this way, but they played it smart by introducing Kyoi's point of view right after they introduced him. Therefore, you don't really get attached to the second character. Enough to be kind of sad when Hira rejects him, of course, because he's so nice, you can't hate him. And the poor guy at the end even helps Hira get back to Kyoi. So how much of an angel is he? You know, so you can't hate him anyway. But I was really glad they did that, because I was able to really go back to Kyoi's side and finally understand him more, even though you knew what the problem was. Seeing his point of view was still very different from knowing. You actually live it with him at this moment. And yeah, you just want to pat it on the shoulder and be like, it's okay, it's alright, just you guys go have a talk and you'll see it's gonna be alright. Honestly, it's a detail, but I always like to write details that I really like. I don't know about you guys, you tell me, but for some reason, it just touched me so hard that Kyoi actually tried to call Hira when they had parted already, and it was met with a phone number that doesn't exist anymore. I love that they did that they showed that Kyoi actually at some point kind of reached a level where he just couldn't really do it anymore, and he took his courage in both hands and went to call Hira. I don't know, this scene, I think maybe it's because in Dramaland they always want to call and text, and they write the text and then they erase it. Maybe it's because of this, and it always frustrates me. I'm like, do it, call, text. So maybe it's because of this. But the fact that he really did it, and he even mentioned it at Hira at the end, like, yeah, but you changed your phone number. Wow. They actually really do a good job showing us, even viewers, that he is just really a normal person at the end of the day, because at some point he just shows so much vulnerability and feelings for Hira, and he even kind of starts crying at some point, and is really unsure of himself. Yeah, he kind of becomes this tiny fluff boy you want to hug and be like, it's okay, it's alright, don't worry. You kind of become like this with him, even though at the beginning, when you get introduced to him, you really don't think that's that way of him. So again, they did a really good job at this. The more I talk, the more I'm like, maybe I should give it 9, you know, because I only have praise to say for this drama, but yeah, maybe I should give it more actually. But yeah, when this scene happens in school, wow, what a scene. I was all warm and fizzy inside. It was so nice to watch. But I must say, this drama gets kind of, I wouldn't say, yeah, no, I will say, it turns kind of erotic sometimes. I mean, what the hell was that scene when Hira falls on Kyoi and he starts licking his finger? I wanted to throw it out because I was so shocked when it happened, and I don't think it's actually the only kind of erotic scene. When they finally really confess is actually, well, you can guess what happens, I think. Yeah. But yeah, really surprised about that. But yeah, to finish and kind of summarize, I think the huge problem between the two of them was, first, that they both had their own issues. Hira had his issue, Kyoi too, and there was not enough understanding between the two of them. Hira couldn't understand Kyoi's trouble because he never really talked about it. And kind of same for Hira. Kyoi can't really understand him at some degree, because when you've never lived through something like this, I think it's difficult to understand. So yeah, at the end of the day, it was just a story about two people who are kind of unable to understand each other's feelings, and at some point managed to do it, and then it's all nice and happy. So yeah, I think maybe that's why I gave a bit of a lower rating, is because I like to see my couple being happy and together a bit more. But in this drama, this doesn't really happen. The drama ends just a bit after they got together, and I was a bit frustrated. I wanted to see them a bit more happy. Yeah. Now that I remember it, I think that's why I only gave it 8.5 compared to some other drama where I would have given 9 maybe, because I think I just needed a bit more. Maybe not a full episode either, but you know, like 15 minutes, give me just a bit more of them happy, and yeah. But yeah, that's it for me. I don't think I have anything else to add about Utsukushii Kare. Like I said, I really enjoyed it, and I do recommend it because, like I said, I think Japan is really stepping up. It's really doing good in terms of BL dramas compared to some other countries. I do recommend it, and if you've watched this drama, I hope you liked it too. But yeah, like I always say, try it if you want, make your own opinion. For me, it was a win. I really liked it, and on this, I'm out. Bye bye!